I thought I was gonna be something. I thought for the longest time that I thought I was something. I graduated high school early. I came to the US. I was studying computer science. I was an international student. I had an internship. I thought I was gonna be someone. And now I've gone through a very humbling process that, I'm just one person out of a million, a billion people out there in this world. And everyone's life is so different. And there is just no use envying someone. There's no use being jealous of someone. It's not what I do, it's how I live. It's the behavior that I take on for myself. Nothing's gonna change. Even if you switch jobs, even if you go to a different side of the company, even if you wander around the world, if your attitude doesn't change, you're not gonna change either. I had this hard realization over the years. I was blaming myself the things I didn't have. Out of this entire picture, I was only focused on my blemishes, and that kept me going nowhere. I was just stuck in this darkness, just huddling around, just chasing my own tail and making excuses for the reasons that I was an international student. I didn't have the emotional or the physical backups. Am I focused in the now? Am I focused on what's ahead, or am I focused on the current moment? Living as a foreigner, I've been always searching for something beyond the horizon. I was constantly seeking ways for me to get settled, to have a status, to have a working job. And I was never fully satisfied. Never. I wasn't satisfied with my pay. I wasn't satisfied with the people that I was working with. I wasn't satisfied about my working environment. I wasn't satisfied with the location. I wasn't satisfied with the people around me. And all these different things, they weighed me down. They weighed me down and they made me look for other options. But this constant cycle of me looking for other options, seeking a different job, telling myself there must be something out there. There's just come a point where I'm just, okay, you know what? I'm done. A friend once told me, companies are like boyfriends. There are 100 men out there, but you are only gonna get to know one company at a time. Just like you are only gonna date one boyfriend. You can check out different companies, but you can just have one boyfriend. And you're never gonna know what it's like to date that person unless you actually go on a date. And likewise, you never know what it's gonna be like to work at a company until you're fully there working. You're never gonna know what it's like to be on the job just by the job description or just by calling the recruiter or the hiring manager. And up until now, I thought it was the companies that were the problem. I thought, oh, this one's not structured. Oh, this one seems boring. Oh, this job, And I kept seeking out blemishes as I was interviewing, as I was on the job. In each job, I thought, oh, this company, it's a no-no for me again. But even if there's 100 men out there, there's just two factors in those relationships. It's the boyfriend and I. For the relationships between boyfriends to be healthy, I gotta be in a healthy standard first. And I've gained this realization that even with companies, I need to be at a good standing. I need to keep on developing my skills. I need to be hardworking. I gotta maximize my potential. Really own this role that I have as if I'm a company myself. I was always working in the mindset where I was like, oh, I'm an employee, so I might just get the bang for my buck. I'm just gonna do what's given to me and I'm not gonna try further on. This mindset has been deteriorating. It's never made my life to the fullest. Yes, I have a dream of being financially free, and that means not being tied to any companies, but I need to be healthy to stand up for myself. So until I can reach that goal, I feel like God is teaching me that this time is a time of patience. This is something that I need to learn to endure, to enjoy doing. As someone who always seeks stability, it's so easy to try to lay out all my timeline and imagine that my life will just drift magically like how I've prepared to be. But no, Life never happens in that way. This world is just a mixture of people's behavior, people's psychology, people's mind, and it all works together. There's not a thing that I can control fully, and what I can control fully is myself. If there's a problem, the problem is you, has somewhat of a truth in it. I've always blamed the fact that me living a tough life was due to me being an international student, but it's really not. Everyone has his or her difficulties. And everyone has his or her own happiness too. And that's what makes us go every single day. I just wanted to say this for it to be a reminder, and for people who are going through a hard time, whether they're laid off, whether their company isn't the right fit. I know what it's like. You might be having a harder time than I am, honestly. But I think it's a time for me to be humble, because the feeling that I'm not content with whatever I'm given is kind of based off of the pride that, oh, I don't deserve this. Oh, I deserve something better. Being in this mindset is not healthy for me. It's so hard to get out of this mindset, but always by remembering Coram Deo, living fullest in the moment, I want to live a series of days, weeks, months, and years being fulfilled of what I do every single day. I want a life that when I look back at my past days, I want to say, oh, I lived well. That's how I want to engineer my life as I'm trying to shift gears and walk in the path of being both financially free, but also mentally healthy. I kind of blabbered on. I hope you have a good one.